I hope you're good. I hope you're good. All right, so Instagram is doing funny stuff. So let us go on Instagram and see. Checking connection now. Okay, so we are live on Instagram. How are you guys? How are you guys? How are you guys? How are you guys? This is interesting. So we will be live on Facebook. We are live on Instagram, and then we are live on YouTube. So let me just, do a quick recap for the sake of people who will be watching this as a replay. The main boo. What does that mean? Like you're the main chick. So like nobody now you cannot. Okay, so so nice to have you. So nice to have you. How are you? I hope you're good. I hope you're good. I am good too. So we've been having some interesting stuff about income. Everybody knows how to make income. For example, you could get a job and then you'll be paid salary. Or you could, you could also do business and then you make money. Everybody knows that. But whereas not everybody makes that kind of money, it has to be because there is something else involved in all this matter. Because everybody knows about buying and selling, everybody knows about getting a job and working. So if people are getting jobs and working and then they're still not becoming rich or wealthy or not creating wealth, that means that there's something really, really serious about this thing. Success. Sorry, so sorry. Don't worry, the exams will be over. Michael, good to have you. Good to have you. Good to have you. All right, so your video has been posted on Facebook. Don't finish it though. It's trying to reconnect. Don't worry, let it reconnect. All right, so we've been doing this, and I realized that there are certain things, underlying factors that need to be resolved. Extreme best. Nice to have you. Sir Willie, Robert 7D. King Abdul. Nice to have you. Nice to have you. Nice to have you. You guys are welcome. So nice to have you guys. So nice to have you guys. So realize that, of course, there are certain things that determine whether a person becomes wealthy. That is not just the things that you see on the surface. Naturally, the real things they don't stay on the surface. The real thing, if you see somebody who did money ritual, you see the person driving fine car. You will not see the jazz. You will not see it on the surface. You won't see it on the surface. Facebook is back, thank God. You won't see it on the surface, but you will see the big cars and the big money. You don't even see what's up. If somebody was making money legitimately, you just know that the person is making money legitimately. For example, let's say Otedola now. Just say, Otedola has money. He's buying Ferrari for his daughters. So he has money. So what you just see is Ferraris and then Daddy Otedola that dancing somehow, You don't see what goes into how to, generate such wealth, control. I've used the word I shouldn't have used the word control yet, because today now, we're talking about control today. We're talking about control today, so I shouldn't have used the word control because it starts to suggest and start to lead you, towards where I don't want you to go yet. All right? Because I don't want to go yet because I'm waiting for other people to join. Because once other people join, then we can get there in. But this is the point. We've been making sure that we deal with underlying issues, knowing fully well that once those underlying issues, once they have been sorted, Abdul Agbemi, the Papanda, once these underlying issues have been sorted, you can be sure that it's just a matter of time before you are making a lot of money. And there's something Simply Princess P7D. 7D has joined your name. Both crews. We both contain all of us like this. Robert, who is the class rep for the 7D people? that solves somebody did not come today. Is it Okikidola solve? I not say Okikidola solve today. 7D people, Jerry, how are you? How are you guys today? I hope you are fine. The rest of you can now collect your how are you from the people that you are bearing name with. Joshua, I can see you on Facebook. Pretty list YouTube. Don't mess up today. I just got to beg you. Just stay like that. That's why I'm using different network for you people, so that there's no issue. YouTube, use one network. Facebook, use another network. I don't want to hear that one network is jumping around anywhere at all. All right. So what was I saying before the 7D people came in? And then I was just, when 7D people enter, you just sending love on the screen. The 7D people that used to show me love, all those sub people, their own is to be writing bullet points. All those sub people is for them to be writing bullet. Bliss Joy, how are you, Jerry? Joy, you know that Joy and Ayo is the same thing. So that's very special. Success, your name, nobody can hate you. You are not bearing success now, and I'm not saying you are not special. So Tina Wilfred. So once we make sure that those things are sorted, it's just a matter of time before you begin to manifest at levels. We begin to manifest at levels that makes everybody happy, including yourself and people who know you. Toyosi, you're not hearing me. People are hearing me. Toyosi, are you sure you don't want to go and then come back? VKD 70. Oh God, please. I will send Google form to people. The Papanda. XOSO means it means aproko. When did XOSO start to mean? When did you just say so XOSO, like I will tell you the remaining tomorrow. like I will tell you the remaining tomorrow. Is that not the meaning of XOSO? Who is that 7D person, Jerry? Vikade 7D. Who is Vikade? I know that. Well, if I don't even need to know who you are, as long as you just have 7D after your name like this, forget. We are. Ramasovs. Yeah. I thought you would not come for life today. I was already happy that 70 people that we are more than the soft people. What's the matter? Don't you have a better place to be? Oh my, it's like, what is this he doing today? And it's something wonderful. So Valentine. If I not get gift from Valentine for affiliated NG member, we'll go on suspension. In fact, no payout for 4 Mondays. You know that our president, they abuse him on Twitter. You know what happened? They did not even abuse him. They just suspended his account. You know what happened? If I not get Valentine gifts on next week Monday, I will do more than our president too. Oh God. Oh my, I pity the person that will be watching this replay. You just say, will you say what you want to say? Simply Princess P7D, I greet you. I pity the person who's going to be watching this, like, go to the point. You said we are going to talk about control. How does control have to do with my wealth creation? Oh God, this is interesting. And I thought I was going to be really, really serious tonight too. I need to go and check what is happening. Daddy King 101. I mean, sorry, 001. Look, the love on the screen, I'm seeing it too, and it's busting my head. We are pricing Maserati for it. Look, I don't like scam. We don't scam ourselves. You get? Joshua, answer to this matter now. Jerry the billionaire, please don't price Maserati. Don't worry. Don't price Maserati Just just 3 days Madagascar. Okay, well, hey, yes, now we can just go to Madagascar. Mm. All right, so so I was saying, I think we have to just call this session. I think we just change it to cruise with wisdom. I think we just change it into cruise with wisdom. Wait, let's call the podcast that now. Cruise with wisdom. That's our podcast series. Cruise with wisdom. Ah, you people are too much. Let me write it down. Cruise with wisdom. Yemi will fine tune it. Oh, good. Okay, so yeah, so this is the deal. All right, today, Kenya, right? No, we have to come to Kenya. We definitely have to come to Kenya. We definitely have to come to Kenya because I mean, we're having lots of audience in Kenya, so we definitely are coming to Kenya. We are coming to Kenya. Don't worry, please DM me. All right, please DM me so that we can start to make arrangement and just have discussions around it so that it's seamless and smooth once we are ready to come. You know, Dre, Gaspar, I see you. Okay, so several years ago, you know, I was in final year, and I was thinking, I need money. I was wondering that how can I have a car? I used to have this 405 wagon then. How can I have 405, you know, and you know, fine red alloy rim. I mean, I have to go and find pictures. I have to go and find those pictures. And I was like, how can I have a car and then I don't have money? You know, I was just thinking. I was like, maybe I should have driving school. Maybe I should have a driving school. So I don't know how I did it. I should have said that. I should have told people that, okay, Kitola, you're welcome. I should have told people that I now have a driving school. I'm teaching you. I will teach people how to drive. I think you are supposed to pay me 10,000 naira. I was supposed to teach you for 2 weeks or 4 weeks. I don't remember. It turns out that I'll collect the money after I finish spending. I'm thinking, this money is too small for this driving school people that I'm teaching. You know. So I will have 3 students per time. I'll put them on the car. It was UI then, so I'll take them to the staff quarters where the traffic is very low, you know, and then I'm teaching them how to drive. Now, as we are teaching people to drive, you know, as I'm teaching people to drive, there is always one thing. There's always one thing that is always always on my mind. And it is the fear of, it's not the fear of the people not knowing what to do, the people that I'm teaching how to drive. It's not the fear of them not knowing what to do. It's mostly the fear of them losing control. It is mostly the fear of them losing control. I didn't think about it until, you know, like, I'm usually afraid that this person who is learning how to drive, this person that I'm teaching how to drive, let it not be that this person will just mistakenly, you know, just turn the steering into inside the, and UI there we have Oba Dam. Is that the name of our dam? Is that the name of UI Dam? Oba Dam. I think it's Oba Dam. Yes, it's Oba Dam. We have Oba Dam. Plenty, you know, dam. See, before they go and run inside Oba Dam with car that are managing JJ. So I used to have this fear that, you know, what if they lose control? But I didn't know that that's what I was actually afraid of. I thought I was just particular about them learning how to drive. Okay. So the gist for how the driving school business shall went down is for another day. But the shall that one day, that's how one of my students told, I don't know, you shall spoil the cash in short, but that's another for another day. So what's my point? I learned a very valuable lesson about control. Okay, now let me show you another thing. That must have been 2009, yeah, probably 2009. 2010, 2009, 2010, yeah. And by 2016, yes, I had to teach another friend of mine how to drive. And I did not remember how I taught him. I knew that I taught him how to drive, but I didn't remember what the conversation was like and things like that, But just last year, he reminded me of something. He told me that I used to tell him that make sure that you get control. Make sure that you have control. Focus on having control. Focus on having control. Every other thing will follow. So, first of all, control of yourself, control of your thoughts, control of what you do or what you don't do. So you focus on control. First of all, control of what you do or don't do. First focus, control of self. So that's why they say self-control. Self-control is the control of your emotions. There's nothing other than self-control other than the control of your emotions, the control of your feelings, the control of your impulses. Ordinarily, you are, emotional and also a logical being, which means that if all things being equal, you will not misbehave. All things being equal, you know what I mean? But the thing about life is that things are never equal. Things are never equal because there's always somebody getting you angry, and there's always somebody saying things I don't like. Maybe somebody wanting to cheat you, or maybe there are several things. Point is, there will always be unequal things, unequal things. There will always be inequalities. Because if there were no reasons for things to go out of control, there won't be the reason for control. I don't know if you understand it. So it is because wheels can fly off the handle. That is why there is need for control. So whatever you want to do, the first important thing, is control of self. Control of self. Control of self. Imagine that you have a cup, but you now pour water into the cup. You want to maybe make tea, or you want to drink water, or you want to take garri, or whatever it is that you wanted to use with the cup. But the point is, maybe you want to even have a drink. But the point is, imagine that you pour something inside the cup, and then the cup starts to fling itself so that it spills the water out. Imagine that your cup does that every time. Do you think that you are going to continue using that cup? Let's assume that let's assume that you're not first of all even afraid that it's one spirit that is doing that. Let's assume that you're not even first afraid. Let's assume. All right? Let's assume. Timade, good to have you. Let's assume that it's not just, it's not spiritual. It's just the cups. It's like the cups they just have life. And then they can decide to behave like cups. But this particular cup is always shaking and spilling things up. Do you think you are going to use that cup? No, you are not going to use that cup. What that means is that without self-control, you will not be useful to yourself. Without a proper control of self, you will not be useful to yourself. So the idea is that where you start, first of all, is that you start with the control of self. That's where everything starts. Otherwise, you can build something today and then throw it away tomorrow because of lack of control of yourself. But that's not where I'm going. That's just the basis. It's not even where I'm going. Oh, Doctor, you're welcome. Good to have you. Good to have you. Shadrach, interesting. You two people are representing, Joshua, how are you in Facebook there? It's only that I've seen, maybe other people have not said anything. Mustiberry, you're welcome. So that's not even where I'm going, but I just wanted to establish that, because all kind of control that I'm going to talking about, they're going to be useless without self-control. They're absolutely going to be useless without self-control. So that is why it is important for you to understand self-control. Self-control is how you keep your integrity. When I say integrity, I'm not talking about misbehaving or saying rubbish. I'm saying that being put together. Being put together. That is how you retain integrity. Integrity means that if you are building a house and you tell you that this wall, they don't have integrity, what they are telling you is that wall will fall. That's what I'm telling you. So integrity means being put together. Self-control is how you are put together. Imagine that you have a boyfriend, and you are really serious, but it's just that he has one problem. What's his problem? He cannot control himself. How do I mean? If somebody says your head is not correct like this, you get angry and want to beat the person. So he cannot control his emotions as per anger, right? Or somebody says, Joshua, don't worry, I'm with you. Or somebody says something funny, and then he's going to laugh and roll on the floor. Or you go somewhere and say, we're having wine, no. He's going to drink until he's vomiting. But other than that, he's a very wonderful person. He can give you his life. In fact, he's not stingy at all. By the way, I saw a circular from the Stingy Men Association calling for a total lockdown from February 13 to February 15, because we have to fight this COVID-19 virus. I think, what do people think? I think that it's a good thing if we want to fight COVID, though. And what do people think? So this guy is so wonderful. This guy is really wonderful. Now the question is, do you think that you'll be confident to take him home to your parents? Do you think that you'll be confident to take him like that? If your dad just say, see wine, no. Sucre Ayo. I'm calling your name, Jerry. You're welcome. I was that, who is Ayo? Who is bearing my name? And now one that why did you not go and add Sucre? Sucre means sugar, to your Ayo, because Ayo already means joy, which is already sweet. So I was just trying to think about. Ojogo Anthony, you're welcome. You're welcome. Now, will you be able to take this kind of guy to your parents? Never heard that if your daddy just basically bring NSC up like this, the guy is going to finish it and start misbehaving. Or that if your mom just says something funny like this, you just laugh and they'll be like, what? Is everything okay? Now, that is how it is for people who don't exhibit self-control. And you know the terrible thing, or the funny thing. The funny thing is that the kind of self-control that you need for wealth, they are the ones that it will not do you anything other than you not getting wealthy. I'm telling you, you'll be fine. You wear fine shirts, you will dress well. You just won't be rich. You just will not be rich. You just will not be able to create wealth. That's the terrible thing about those kind of control that I'm talking about. So self-control, the control of self. That's where it all starts. That's where it all starts. Now, remember that we've been using the analogy of speed. We've been using the analogy of traveling, journey and things like that. Now, let me tell you something, okay? One of the ways that a person gets speed is by a person having control. Control is what begets speed. Control. Let me tell you what I mean. So, a driver is driving, and one driver is going at 100, and the other driver is going at 140. The challenge with 100 and 140 kilometers per hour, or the difference is that people feel that at 100 kilometers per hour, it is easy for most people to still be able to control the car. Then when it gets to 160, I remember some years ago, I lived at Oshobo, and then I used to have meetings in Lagos, And then this particular day, it was a Lexus saloon car at the time, and I got on the road for 6:30. I don't remember anymore, anyways. But I can't know it was early morning, and I was going to VI. There's InterSwitch office. I had a meeting with the managing manager of InterSwitch at that time. I don't know if she's still the one, Aero Marcelle or something. Anyways, so I'm driving. Now at that time, Lagos Ibadan it's not even complete now, so it wasn't really. But there were parts where the road was really smooth, and then I got on that road, and then I was doing 180, and something was telling me that, you know that at this your 180 speed, that split of a second distraction, you'll be inside the bush. Then another thing now told me that, so what exactly is your problem actually? Auntie Toyo, you're welcome. And then what exactly is your problem? Anyways, Asha came back to 150 kilometers per hour, and I told myself that I don't think I'm ever going to go to 180 again. No. I got to Lagos. I remember very well now. My friend at the time was leaving Abuja and was going to Lagos, and he was going by flight. I was on the road, and he told me, I've landed though. I was like, hey, don't worry now. And then I called and said, I'm in Ikeja. I was like, Shemi, when I called, you said, the journey was that fast. In fact, that particular day, there was no single vehicle, no single person overtook me. Not one. I promise you, not one car like this. I don't know whether any spirit or ghost overtook me, but physical car, vehicle, nobody overtook me. It was that fast that day. Now, if a driver was driving at 150 kilometers per hour, it is not the speed that you are afraid of. It is not the speed that you are afraid of. You are actually afraid that the car may go out of the control of the driver. That's what you are actually afraid of. Because when you fly airplanes go at faster speed than a car could ever dream of. But you are never afraid because you feel that all things being equal, look at empty space from left and right. I mean, this plane, what kind of out of control can it go to? If you go left, there is space there. You go right, there is space, ordinarily. And then you can bounce back. You can even turn and still fade, even at that speed. So, it wasn't that you are afraid of that speed. You are afraid for the lack of control, or the seeming possible lack of control that can happen, or the risk or the consequences of the lack of control. I am speaking plenty grammar. Let me break it down. This is what I mean. The more control that you have, the faster that you will get to your journey. Simple. You are moving from being worth 0 naira to being worth $200 billion. You already know all the things that we have discussed. So you know the place of desire, you know the place of your affirmation and things like that. Now, we're now talking about the place of control, because you can fuel your car with all the fuel in this life, and you still will not be able to run more than 40 kilometers per hour if you don't have proper grip of the car, proper understanding of the road. Which now brings into the point, some people wonder and say, I don't have I don't have so much control. How do people get control? Do you know how people get control? By getting understanding. When it comes to life, you get control by getting understanding. You get control by gaining experience. You get control by understanding, by looking, making sure that you understand how things work. So you want self-control, you need to understand how the mind works. The consequences of what you do and what you do not do, it has to be real for you. It has to be real for you. You have to re-engineer yourself in such a way that you can make sure that you have control for yourself. And look, let me tell you, it's very simple. It's very simple. When you build a house and you put fence and gates, what do you think you are doing? What do you think you are doing? You are controlling the movement of outsiders into your space. It's control. So you can see that one of the ways that you get control of a space that you even own is by, for example, physically, is by building a fence, which means that creating barricades, creating bind helps you for control. Okay, so I will not go above this. I will not go beyond this. Or when it is so time, I don't do this. That is how you control self. Look, let me tell you, anybody can lose control. I remember somebody on this, the person is on Instagram. One day, the person now said, there's something that I want to post to, but home training did not let me post it. The person said like that on the person's WhatsApp story. So, the person, home training at that time was control the person from the person to post the thing that the person wanted to post. But anyway, the way it now went, this story that I'm saying now, the way it now went is that some people now say, forget home training. The person too now decides to say, let me forget home training. They say I should forget home training. So the person forgot home training too. The person posted it. Although the person home training now came back for the person later because the person now removed the post. What's my point? My point is, you want speed. You need understanding. You want speed, you need understanding. Why? Because once you get understanding, what you naturally get once you get understanding is control. And it spans all through all kind of things. People who are able to give themselves time and say, I need to execute this, I need to achieve this before I get up. They always have more result than people who forget what they wanted to achieve and then get distracted. So some people can will their mind. That's control. Will their mind and say, stay here. That's like, do you know one of the reasons why when you are driving, if you drive here, you know what I'm saying. One of the reasons when you are driving for the steering is something that you will, you turn it around. But it's not also something that you turn around as much as something that you hold. I don't know if you are getting it. People think that the steering is an instrument that you turn around. No, the steering is not an instrument that you turn around. The steering is mostly an instrument that you hold. That's exactly how you should take control of your life. Now let me now tell you this, because people think, when you talk about the word control, people think that people come at it from the angle of maybe manipulation, authority, doing this, deciding that this comes like this. No, that's not the angle. That's not the angle that I want you to look at it from. Do you know the meaning of wealth? Do you know the meaning of wealth? The meaning of wealth is basically the size of assets that an individual controls. The size of assets that an individual controls. This is how you will know. People think that wealth is something that you own, like, so it's yours. People think that when you talk about wealth, you're talking about something that you own, so it's yours, so you own it. If you look at it from the word owning, you will miss the point. Because when a person dies, the person's wealth or assets, it does not disappear. The person's assets will now belong to who? For example, if a person dies and the person has 6 billion in his bank account, say Union Bank, for example. So do you think that do you really now think that Union Bank will now leave that 6 billion? They will never ever touch it? Do you think that's what happened? In fact, before the person dies, Union Bank is already even trading with the money, using the money to borrow other people. What do you think the bank is always saying? If you leave 20,000 in your account, you stand a chance of winning a car. If you leave 20,000 in your account for 6 months, you will stand the chance of winning a car. Do you know what they are saying? They are saying, give us 6 months that you don't control your wealth. Give us 6 months that you don't control your 20K, so that we can be the one controlling it in that 6 months. That's what they are saying. So, if you begin to understand wealth from the angle of control, you begin to do things better. You will begin to naturally act better, to understand that it is control. This wealth is a game of control. I promise you, wealth is a game of control. Check your bank account. What you call the money that you have is not kukuma your money. First, it's not even currency, is not even the property, it's not even your property. The web app, everything that they're using to process the wallet that you're using, that you're calling your money, is not even your own. That money that you call your own is simply the number of digits in the whole digit that is available monetarily in the whole world. The number of digits that is within your own control. That's what you call my money. That's what you call my money. And transaction simply means willing the control of those digits to somebody else so that you can collect something else that you control. So when you buy a car, you tell yourself you now own a car. Well, you really don't own the car, because when the car will spoil, now the car will not say, excuse me sir, can I spoil? And so that you now say, no, cannot spoil. What do you mean by, are you okay at all? What do you mean by spoil? No, you can't do that. If you can say, sir, I don't have water inside the radiator and I want to overeat. You can't say, my friend, you cannot overeat. No. The only thing that you are able to do for something that you call what you own is that you are able to determine where you want it to go or not. Control. It's not even, you cannot even decide where it goes because it can pack up. What you can decide is where you want it to be or not be. In fact, that one go is limited because there are places that can't even park. So ultimately, what people call ownership is control. That is why some rich people understand that sometimes it is not necessary for you to buy liabilities. It is better sometimes for you to rent liabilities, because renting and owning is an illusion of control. So when people want to collect your money very well, they will say, come and own this, come and own that, come and own this. And this happens a lot in real estate, for example. Because I need you guys to understand. It happens a lot in real estate, for example. You say, come and be the proud owner of this. Come and be the proud owner of this house. So you buy a house for, say, 50 million naira. Or you build the house for 50 million naira. But the house is really wonderful. So you're able to put it out for rent for 5 million in a year. It's going to take you 10 years before you break even. It's going to take you 10 years before you make 50 million back. Whereas, if you took 50 million naira and you rent a house of 5 million naira today, the same house that you could have built, 50 million in your hands, instead of building that house or buying that house, imagine that you now took 5 million naira, you now rented that house. In fact, let's have that you even paid for 2 years and say take 10 million naira. It means that you own that house for 2 years. You can take your 40 million naira and put it in treasury bills. In fact, if it was when cryptocurrency was really predictable and something like that, you had bullish run or something like that, you could put it in investments that in 2 years the 40 million doubles. Let's say it does not even double. Maybe you only made 50% in a year. It means that by the end of the first year, the 40 million in your hand would have become 60 million naira. We don't know what will happen by the second year. It could be more. Another 50% means that you now have 60 plus 30, 90 million naira. Whereas, if you had built the house, you would have tied 50 million naira down, especially consider the house. You're not even renting the house out, or you even want to live in the house. So you're not even going to be making a dime. It's the one that you even want to give out for rent that you can say, it's going to take me 10 years to break even. There is a way real estate is profitable. So this is not a real estate class, okay? I can tell you categorically that real estate is profitable, but I'm just giving you an example about how people, because they don't understand the game, the illusion of control and ownership, they think that ownership is different from control. They think that the fact that you own something means that you own it. There's nothing like ownership, actually. Really, I'm telling you. And immediately you understand the concept of control, you will naturally do better in life. I'm telling you. I am telling you. It means that it is possible for you to analyze that, look, I have 400k. I need to buy very good suits. And they are saying 100k each. So if I buy 4 suits for 100k each, I have 400k spent. And these 4 suits, I am only going to be wearing one of them every week. It means that in a month, it will take me a month to wear 4 of them because I don't wear suits regularly. Which means that all things being equal, by the time I spend 6 months, they will already be thinking that maybe you should have bought other suits. Which means that by another 6 months, I will be looking for another 400,000 naira to buy another suit if they are not more expensive. Which means in a year, I can end up spending 800k on suits. Whereas, if I knew where they were renting suits for 10k, I would wear fine suits, different suits. I would not need to buy extra. I will be fine, and then I will still have my money. My point is, this is not so that you can decide to rent suits. I don't rent suits, I buy my suit and things like that. There are several dynamics to this. But the point is, if you understand control as opposed to ownership, then you are a notch higher understanding wealth creation. Because if you understand that even the land that you are buying, the CFO that they are giving you for 99 years. I'm telling you. I mean, it's crazy. So when you say, I bought a land, you didn't buy a land. You rented that space for 99 years. The thing is that you already thought that there's no way I can live another 99 years. So I'm going to own it for my lifetime. But when 99 years is over, they will call whoever is another and say, this land has expired. Do you want to buy it again? This is what I say, do you want to lease it again? So, the understanding that once you have yourself under control, self-control, you can achieve a lot of things faster is the first thing I want you to hold tonight. The understanding that as long as you have control, you will have speed, because you will be able to achieve a lot faster than most people. The second thing I want you to take from this. The third thing that I want you to take from this is, you need to understand that for sure, there is really nothing like ownership. What you have is control. What you have is control. What you have, what you should strive for is control. Now, let me now cap it off for you. Do you know those people that they call entrepreneurs? Those people who want to create solutions and who want to do well with their life, and you know those people? Do you also know those people that they call investors? that they call big time investors, like this person has money, he's just investing and things like that. Do you know what they all have in common? The size of what they control. So if you work in an organization, it means that you do not control your time between 8 o'clock and 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock, whatever time you close. Because somebody else has to dictate where you go and where you are, what you do. So you don't control your time. So that's a loss of control. When you now have money and you want to travel and the money is not enough and you have to go by a road, it also means that you cannot control choices. You cannot control whether you cannot control the model of your journey. So you are forced to go through a particular model of journey. What it means in essence is that when people build wealth, or when people strive to build wealth, and when people are saying, I need to have money, what the person is saying is, I want to be able to control the events of my life. Now, here is the paradox. There are things without that you strive to control. Your time, where you go, where people who don't come near you, so that's why you have police and then you can't just walk up to you, so you control access. Because if you are an employee in an organization and then you are the least, by hierarchy, you can't control access now. Everybody does to you. But if you are the maybe group managing director of the organization, people don't just barge into you. There will be the gate man will say, is he expecting you? And then the reception will say, sit there. He does not want to see you yet. And then there will not say, okay, yeah, you can stand up now. You can now go. Say, no, okay, no, come back again. Come and sit down. So there are things without that you are striving to control by wanting to become wealthy. But the paradox is that you are never going to get there fast enough if you do not exercise outstanding self-control. Because let me tell you, your feelings are like an overspeeding car. Your feelings are like a car that is overspeeding. Do you know why they used to say that people who, like, maybe you're always going out clubbing, you are smoking, you are dancing, you are doing this, you are drinking, you are all over the place, you are shouting, you are playing loud music? Do you know why they used to say those people, they are living fast life? Have you ever wondered why they say, they're on the fast lane? That's a fast life. That's a fast life. That's the fast life. Why do they call it fast life? Because people know that what it means that these people are ruled by their feelings. So there is no moderacy at all. There's no moderacy at all with these people. That means that they are going so fast, which means that there is lack of control. So they say, you are going too fast. You are going too fast. Hey, calm down. You are going too fast. Like, what I say is, like, the way you are like this, you don't have control. Because if you have control, some of these things you will not do. You will spin out. That's exactly. So the paradox is that it's always going to start with self-control. Self-control, as per, keeping your emotions in check. I'm not talking about not being happy. Of course, please be happy. In fact, I'm mostly talking about negative emotions, really. Laziness, not wanting to do things, being tired, not wanting to get up, not wanting to follow up on something, avoiding confrontations and things like that. You have to be put together. All right? So, did anybody learn anything today? Did you learn anything today? Are we good? Are we good today? Sorry, I didn't know that I took this long. I didn't want to stay this long at all. Did you learn anything? Does it make sense to you? Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I had an amazing time as well. So what's your take home today? What's your take home today? What is your take home today? Yesterday was say the good stuff, do the unpopular stuff the other time, do the boring stuff, and things like that. So what's the take home today? What's your take home today? I want to know what is your take home. Put your take home in a simple sentence. What's your take home? What's your take home? Learn control. Okay? Learn control. Learn control. That's the simple thing today. Learn control. The more control that you have, and it starts with yourself, the more self-control that you have, the more, let me tell you, once you begin to understand self-control, you begin to, yes, thank you, Joshua. No understanding, no control. Absolutely. 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 That's where it comes from. That's where it comes from. The more you control, the more you control, the better you have. That's ownership. Control is ownership. That's all. That's my whole point. Control is ownership. The dynamics may be interesting here and there, but control is ownership. So the more control that you have, the more that you have. That's all. I'm telling you. The more control you have, the more you have. Simple. You hear me? Thank you. Absolutely. Absolutely. So you want to create wealth, you want to, and you guys have to promise me. You have to promise me that you are intentional about creating wealth for your generation. You have to promise me that, so as I am like this, in my mind, my generations will never ever be poor again. In my mind. That's what I'm doing, Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. It's been an awesome time with you guys. I've enjoyed myself. I mean, it was really, really, really wonderful. Really, really wonderful. Really wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This is where we draw the curtain. And then we see tomorrow, affiliated NG members will see at the sales challenge. If you're not an affiliated NG member yet, we'll see tomorrow here at 9 o'clock. Joshua, thank you. Conquer self, then conquer your environment, then conquer your sphere. Yeah. Joshua, thank you for putting it that way. Very clear. Conquer self, conquer your environment, conquer your sphere. All right? You want to control your environment, you want to control the events of your life. You start with controlling yourself. Because you are your first environment, you are your first sphere. And everything is always inside out. Everything is always inside out. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. Yes, so love you guys. Love you so much. Love you so much. Love you so much. Okay. Permission to go and come back tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you so much. Don't forget what we learned today. It's pretty much important. Pretty much important. Thank you. 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 All right. Yeah, so Krama Rashid, please DM me. Let's talk about Kenya trip. Ramasolves, thank you. Joshua, thank you. Thank you. YouTube people, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Peter Bless, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Providence, Samuel, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I love you too. I love you too. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Finish here on yes. Vika de